All right, we'll call the Thursday, April 16th, French Creek COG meeting to order with salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. First on the agenda, we have public comment. Is there any public comment today? Seeing none, we'll move on to some administrative matters. First, I'll need a motion to approve the minutes from the January 15th, 2026 COG meeting, which are enclosed in your packet.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same thing. Motion carries. Next, we need a motion to accept the treasurer's report, which is enclosed.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any more discussion on the treasurer's report? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same thing. Motion carries. Next item, need a motion to accept the 2025 audit report, which is enclosed in your packet. We got a motion. Do I have a second? We have a second. Any discussion on the audit report?
You did the audit.
Did the audit. Maybe I shouldn't motion for it.
Well, she did the audit. She can make the motion and bring it to the table. Yeah.
It's up to you guys.
Yeah, we still got to vote on
And
it.
then
Any
yours.
discussion on it? It's in your packet. I've assumed you guys all reviewed it, right? Before the meeting? Everybody that looked at it? If I asked you how much money we had in the accounts last year, everybody knows, right?
$22,000.
All right. So any further discussion? If not, all those in favor of approving the audit report, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same thing. Motion carries. All right. Jill, you got a little announcement?
Oh, just, we had the pre-construction road bid meeting yesterday for all the joint road bids. So every municipality, there's 6 of us this year that are involved, and everybody was there. All the contractors that were there can bid on the, any of the municipalities' bid documents. So the bid opening will be April 29th for anybody who wants to go. If not, we'll email everything out. We're doing a lot of things more by email than anything. So we'll get all that information out, and then it'll be up to each municipality to award it at their meetings in May or whenever you want to have the meetings. So that's kind of the update. Unless, John, you were there. Do you have anything you want to add?
No, I think it was well representative, the guys who are going to be doing the paving.
Yeah.
They all came around to get their signatures and then let us know. And yeah, first timer, it went well.
Yeah, and a lot of the bidders we've been doing it now for almost probably 20 years, give or take, so it's kind of well-run.
They know what's going on.
Huh?
They all know what's going on.
Yeah, but it's good to see the roads and meet with the
Yeah.
roadmasters.
Well, thanks, Jill, for all you do with the road paving projects there. Moving on, we have Kevin from Vadar Systems Fund Accounting Applications. He wants to give a short talk about that. You come up here to the podium and kind of spell it on out for us.
Yeah, I just want to take a couple minutes. You know, I know things are busy. Name's Kevin Ropes. I live in Northeast PA, so in the Hazleton, Wilkes-Barre area. I don't know if you're familiar with that at all. So right across 80. I represent a company named Vadar Systems, and we have a couple different solutions that we provide to municipalities in Pennsylvania. We've been working here for about 15 years now, but I was brought on earlier this year, and we have a fund accounting. Many of you are probably using QuickBooks to manage your finances. We also have utility billings for those that do any type of water, sewer, or trash type collections. We have a solution for that as well. But I just wanted to, I've been attending a lot of the COG regional, and we've been we're getting involved in the state COG. And I'm a big proponent to kind of what you're what the mission is of the Council of Government Organizations. So I'm looking at, kind of taking more, kind of being more present at the COG, because there may be questions that I can help answer. Not necessarily just for like the software side of things, but I have a background in finance. So maybe if any assistance is needed on reading P&Ls, or hey, I lost a treasurer and I need some help. These are some things that I've been doing this for about 30 years now. I have a lot of contacts, not just in the software side of it, but just in the market in general. So maybe I can help, and that's kind of why I'm here, is to introduce myself to you, and if something comes up and you say, hey, maybe that guy that came and talked to us might have some knowledge, I'd be happy to help you. Okay? So I plan on coming periodically. I may not make every meeting, but I plan on coming, because if you're seen, like I said, maybe I can help you in some way or another. So thank you, appreciate it. If you have a need now, I have some cards with me. Be happy to share them with you.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Kevin also brought some homemade blueberry muffins. Kind of outshines me because I left you guys some week-old cupcakes in there. So help yourselves after the meeting, but thanks.
Yeah, if they stay there, anyone can take them, share them with your friends, your family.
All right. And next up, we have Justin from the PA Municipal Code Alliance.
Thank you for giving me the chance to come and share a little bit about PA Municipal Code Alliance, or PMCA. We are a third-party UCC administrator, so we support municipalities across the state with, the UCC compliance aspects of the building inspections, a plan review, and then beyond that, we support almost all 200 of our municipal partners right now with code enforcement, supplemental, or even full-time, as well as zoning. So if zoning is basic as that land use process in the beginning of a building permit that needs done, to actually going and helping with zoning rewrites and a little more heavily involved. You probably haven't heard of PMCA, or if you have, it was from another area of the state. So transparently, right now we're focused in central Pennsylvania, so that's where most of our municipal partners are right now. We've been working with them since UCC, or most of them since UCC really got put into place, I think in 2003. Part of my role is to expand our team and expand where we're at. We've had a lot of success with the 200 municipalities we are working with. I'm sure they would be great references. So that's part of sort of why I'm here today, is to share. We're an option as well for that support, and then just to share a little bit about why us. So we have a team of about 50 people right now. So we have a very robust team of permit techs that take in everything. And why I mention that is we have a very quick turnaround on our inspections and our plan review. So no matter where we are, if we were to invest in opening an office here, we won't move anywhere unless we can do inspections next day. So if a resident calls us by 3 o'clock today, we'll be out tomorrow. Plan review, there's state regulation with that, but we're averaging right now about 2 days for a residential plan review for that first submittal, and then about 4 days for commercial. So we're never going to be a delay or a bottleneck in that development process in your communities. Beyond that, and sort of what helps with that is we will always have a paper and pen way to submit a building application. I said central PA. Most of our communities are pretty heavily Amish, so we'll always have that. But we also have an online platform called Community Core. So Community Core, it allows residents, or whoever the permit applicant is, to apply for their permit online. They can pay online. It just adds some convenience to at no cost to your communities for your residents to be able to do that. And yeah, I just wanted to highlight that. So,
Do you offer like sewage enforcement officer and, or water system operators or anything like that?
yeah, we don't do SEO right now. You know, it's something that, you know, we've stayed pretty focused on the codes with, as it relates to building or ordinance enforcement. One thing I wanted to mention is we work with other councils of governments across the state. So a little further away, but Bedford County, they call it BCAM, so, but it's their COG. They generate a revenue stream from this as well. So the Council of Governments generates one, and then each individual municipality does. So when we're collecting those building permit, the fees, part of that goes back to your communities and to the larger organization, so that, you know, it can help with budgets overall.
When you say zoning rewrites, so if we have a zoning ordinance that we're looking to update or amend, you do that as an option?
We do. We have a few very tenured zoning officers. Some of them, you know, the word data center is like in everyone's mind, right? So we've been working on a lot of zoning updates to make sure that that's covered, and yeah.
What about zoning from scratch? We're just starting zoning.
Yeah,
Do you do that?
we can, yeah. So the other part of this is PMCA, you know, local in Pennsylvania. The original owner, he retired in July of last year. So he sold his business to a larger organization called Safe Built. So Safe Built's a national organization that supports community development in 43 states. Doesn't really matter for the UCC side. Why it matters is we have a team of planners and people that can really get in and, you know, help with a full zoning project. Yeah, I just wanted to make you aware that, you know, we're an option, and you know, we're very good at adding staff in areas. So we've had a lot of success with that, of finding and retaining new team members as we're expanding.
Where's the closest to us here? Do you do like Clarion or any of those counties?
The
or-
closest is in Somerset, and we are focusing on northwest Pennsylvania, or I am personally. I'm only about an hour south of here, so it's not just selfish that, you know, I'd be a little closer, but you know, we've found a pretty good repeatable model to open an office, make sure that it's staffed appropriately to support all those service level agreements. I'm telling you, like next day inspections, you know, plan review turnarounds.
Any other questions?
Do you have any cards with you?
I do. I have a little brochure too.
Okay.
I'll leave it at the front for everyone, but
Okay.
yeah, I appreciate your time.
And we can email anything out once the meeting's over. If either of you have anything,
Yeah.
we can do a mass email
And
back
fee
out. to
schedules, I
them.
know that ultimately drives a lot of things as well. So yeah, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, next on the agenda, kind of a continuation from the January meeting, a discussion of the bylaws, future plans, direction of the French Creek COG. Not to kind of rehash everything, but at the January meeting, obviously, we kind of discussed member participation and kind of how it's been fading over the years. You know, what the objective of the COG is versus what the original objective of the COG was, and what direction we want to go with it, and if we need to make any changes to the bylaws or the organization itself. So, if anybody, I'll kind of open it up for some discussion there, and if anybody wants to say anything, speak now or forever hold your peace. I mean, it's unfortunately the same exact pretty much group of people that was at the January meeting, and we kind of put out some word to folks to come to this meeting so we could have this discussion, and I don't think we really gained anybody, so.
Did we get any written comments?
No, just your comment, and that's why I was thinking maybe, Deb, you know, obviously you provided something for the last meeting. Just
resubmit it.
as a text, so it's in the minutes, what she had said.
Yeah.
But then nobody else had even called or reached out by email to me either way. Did they, for you?
I have a letter from Woodcock Township,
Oh, okay.
if you would like me to read that.
Go for it.
On behalf of the Woodcock Township Board of Supervisors, I want to clarify our position regarding the future of the COG. After reviewing its current function and the responsibilities it requires, the board does not believe the COG should remain in place. The COG was originally created to provide a range of shared services and regional coordination. At this point, the only remaining activity is the joint road materials bid. That single task can be handled just as effectively through a simple intergovernmental agreement without maintaining a separate organization. The COG also maintains a small fund balance, which requires ongoing bookkeeping, audits, and compliance, even though the organization no longer performs multiple services. If the municipalities choose to dissolve the COG, those funds can be properly accounted for and distributed according to the bylaws, eliminating another layer of administrative work. Keeping the COG intact requires officers, meetings, minutes, bylaws, record keeping, and Sunshine Act compliance. For an organization that no longer performs multiple services, that structure has become an unnecessary layer of government. It adds administrative work without providing a meaningful benefit to the member municipalities. Our position is not about ending cooperation. We fully support continuing to work with neighboring municipalities on joint bids and shared projects. We simply believe those efforts can continue without maintaining a formal COG that no longer serves its original purpose. For these reasons, the board does not support keeping the COG intact. Sincerely, Woodcock Township Board of Supervisors.
All right. Any discussion on the letter from Woodcock?
It kind of makes sense, I mean, at least from our standpoint, with Rose and I, things when it was started, how many years ago, are just, you know, before CoStars was even around, you had maybe some state piggyback contracts. We're just in the early stages of doing something with like joint seal coat or joint paving. I think we had done things like that together, but those projects are proceeding anyway outside of the COG. And they seem to be functioning actually pretty well. So without any kind of a definitive or any kind of goal or something that we're actually working to, it really doesn't seem worth it, like Woodcock said, to add another layer of bureaucracy just to sit here once or 3 months.
All right.
The only thing I'd go back to what I said at the last meeting is to, what I keep hearing over and over again is we don't have housing in this area. Can we refocus somehow? I know Vernon does an amazing job with supplying public sewer and water where needed, you know, where growth can happen. But it don't seem like the other municipalities are climbing on board, and we won't point out Westmead has opportunities that, you know, to expand water and sewer systems, and, you know, that would be something that I would think we need to maybe focus on. How can we convince people, instead of putting in solar farms, to allow developers to come in and municipalities help with supplying the utilities there, and so we can get some developers maybe to come in and do some expansion. I heard Accutech turned away a big, huge job because they can't get workers in. And it just comes down to the housing aspect over and over is what we're hearing.
I mean, personally, I don't really think that's like the purpose of the COG. I mean,
Yeah,
that'd be like I say, we're gonna refocus on maybe how many elementary schools a school district should have or something like that. It's really kind of not our place to do.
Oh, please do.
So I think maybe we just, I appreciate it, and like I understand that housing is an important issue in the community, but I think that'd kind of be an overreach and would be too difficult for the COG to really kind of try to step in and perform. So I appreciate it, but that's just my opinion. I mean, everybody else feel free to speak in, but.
If I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like I said, I've attended a number of COG regional meetings. Hazelton has a COG that's fairly active, but these are kind of similar conversations, and they do talk about housing, because Hazelton's an area that is kind of bringing in kind of the like the Amazons and data centers are a conversation that is throughout the state. They're talking about data centers, so, yeah, and personally, when I look at organizations, you know, you get there and you say, what are the goals of the organization? And then changes need to be made. And, you know, some people say, well, we've always done this, so this is what we're going to do moving forward. But there's usually no advantage of doing the same thing over and over and over again. So I don't know if surveys were sent out, you know, maybe an idea would be, instead of, you know, kind of sending an email out, maybe do a survey and blast it out to every township or borough that was within your area. I don't know what your area particularly is. I know there are other conversations that some COGs are having is to join other local COGs, you know, so you're not, you know, you're expanding a little bit the area.
Yeah.
So those are just some things that I've heard that others have spoken about, because they are kind of having to rejuvenate,
Yeah,
kind of re-energize.
I will say, just in answer, we maybe haven't sent out surveys, but we have definitely reached out. We have definitely got the word out. We've attended other entities, other COG entities, meetings and state conventions and things of that nature. We do everything at this COG is all volunteer. Everybody you see sitting up here, it's volunteer. The municipalities maybe pay some of the wages, but a lot of times they don't, because we're doing things in addition to our normal duties too. So everything, we don't have a fee that we collect, because we could do that. That's what a lot of COGs do. You pay an annual fee for each municipality or each entity, but we've never really gone that route because we always had good volunteerism. But the tire event was strictly volunteerism, you know, so that being said, the grant money's kind of dried up for some things that we used to do, so that's why maybe to reconsider or relook at things, this is why we're doing this, so, yeah. A lot of times, just so you're aware, because I get it, this is your first meeting, so you came at a good time, but we're, you know, we get the same group of people, but we do emails, those things are sent out, so people do get the information, even if they don't attend, but that's something that we just see the same faces doing a lot of the work. Or
Yeah,
a lot of the input even, so.
This is only my second meeting, so I'm still learning what the COG is. But I'm also in some, with the school district and several other meetings that I sit in with the PASBO, and same thing, the like minds get together and try and, you know, solve issues that we all have. And we were doing this with the facilities, and we sent out a survey, and what we found is bringing more vendors in, outside vendors, and then that kind of starts the discussion of, hey, what can you offer? And then just more opportunities and more solutions to the problems, and have more of a discussion type meetings instead of an action, if that makes sense.
yeah. And that's where we really kind of we did a pretty, I mean, that's what we've kind of done the past several years.
A lot of years.
But it was kind of, it was almost like embarrassing, because we had a couple of meetings where we had a couple of folks come in, and it was like me, Jill, Fritz, and Gretchen from West Mead, and there's like 4 of us there. And like you have, you know, you bring in speakers to come talk to us, and like, and, you know, some of the products that they brought in, like, I don't know, it was probably 5-6 years ago, we had that robotics stuff.
Yep.
And like we went out and Vernon, you know, got the company involved, you know, we used the product. So it was like something we found out about from the COG, and it was great, but, you know, I'd hate to have these gentlemen drive here and then nobody shows up.
No,
You know,
I agree,
like,
right, I agree,
it's-
I'm
and then-
just, that's, right.
That's the tough part,
yeah.
because I was, from the get-go, I said, well, maybe we cut it down, maybe we have less meetings, but we still try to get the vendors to come in here,
Yeah.
maybe look at different vendors, you know, but then we start piggybacking off of almost like what the county association does. Because like the county association, for township officials, like we'll have a fall convention where we have, you know, all these vendors come in, and it's a one-stop shop. You can go through, you can talk to your guy that you buy your dump truck from, you can talk to the guy you get your backhoe from, and you can talk to your insurance guy all in, 5 feet.
And that's well attended.
Yes. And they,
And
maybe.
it's once a year.
It's once a
Yeah.
year.
Just once a year, well attended.
So it's tough. I mean,
Could you do something, I mean, instead of the COG, maybe we could have a little bit more cooperation between the associations that are already here.
Yeah.
We have an association for the township officials for the county. There's one for the boroughs association. I'm assuming there's something for the school districts and things, but, if there's something where we have vendors come in, something can get organized. You could have 2 or 3 people come in and organize a meeting, not necessarily having to have the COG do it, but maybe through some of those other organizations that are already established.
yeah, I mean,
Like the call be a breakout session, so to speak, like, piggybacking off something else
Yeah.
that's already happening.
I think we have the county, but like there, it's like, hey, you gotta be a township or you can't come to our club. You know what I mean? Like the borough, and like maybe to kind of have something that like the borough comes, the city comes, the school districts come
We could have a
to.
separate, not our county convention that we have in the fall.
Right, but
That is-
just,
That is just for township officials, because that is paid through our association. But maybe could have something else in the spring or in the middle of summer. Maybe there's something that, wants to go on that we could organize something of all of them. Yeah, and invite other, like the boroughs and,
So you still don't need a COG to do that.
No,
You know,
outside, that you don't necessarily have to have a COG to do, but if there's interest in doing something like that, I'm not sure how you found these gentlemen to come today, or if they just called, but, I'm sure we could still do something. It's not necessarily, okay, we have to meet on this particular day at this particular time, kind of thing.
Or could we, as just an option, and I'm open to whatever, I want to hear what people say, even though I know a lot of people, I kind of do a lot of the work, and not that that's a bad thing, but I want to hear what other people say. And, Westmead, we've been a member since the very beginning. That being said, would people want to, I guess I would narrow it down. You want to disband, or do you want to continue what we're doing and maybe get some new interested volunteers or people to step up and take it in a new direction, Or do we want to maybe go to maybe one meeting a year, and maybe that could be a similar, something that could be put together, but it's not a meeting. I don't know. Those are just, to me, that's what I see as like the 3 options.
So number one, and maybe I should know this since I'm, I guess, the chairman of this whole group, but to disband it, is that our decision or is that the municipality's decision? You know what I mean?
That's the bylaws.
I don't know what the bylaws say. That's what I'm saying. I probably should know, but I'm just saying, like, is this a discussion is it pointless that we're kind of even having this because we can't disband it?
I mean, I imagine every municipality had at least signed a resolution.
Right.
I remember Jill at the beginning, but it'd probably be that this board recommends and it'd probably have to go back.
Right, like we could make a recommendation, but then what happens if Vernon and Westmead say, we're not disbanding it? Like, we're not, now do we become the only 2 members of the COG?
And they have to have the people volunteer.
Well, right, but, and I understand, but like, I'm just saying, like, and so my concern with really all of this is, we talk, like, we have $4,000 or whatever to disband, in the accounts, and is it gonna cost us more than that to disband it? Like, by the time solicitors get involved, are we better off to go into a yearly meeting in February, have an election of officers, the audits perform, people perform the audit, and then all of a sudden, do we have any other business to discuss? And if we want to do a big event or something like that, it could be set up then. If it's nope, we'll see you next year, we come back next year, rather than paying money to disband it. I'm not, like I said, I just don't know the answer to that question.
I guess what I'd say at this point, Jill said, I think there's a lot of people that are all nodding their heads, but no one's saying anything, that maybe served our purpose. Maybe what we need to do is take a couple people and actually review the bylaws and see what the process actually is. And if it's something
Yeah.
that we can just say, okay, we're not coming anymore, it's done, or do we have to go back to each municipality and have them formally disbanded? So-
Yeah, because like I said, I don't want to put the cart too far ahead of the horse. So that works with me, and like, I think really at the end of the day, I mean, it's April, we have 2 more meetings left on the calendar. Like, this is something that we're looking to do at the last meeting of the year, if we're gonna do something. You know what I mean, we're gonna work through it, so I mean, I'm fine I'll look through the bio, do we wanna put a committee together, how, like?
That was gonna be my final recommendation, because honestly, I mean, in the bylaws, we really should go back to the municipalities. So just because if I vote today, I don't know if that's acceptable or not. We would wanna at least have the next meeting or something, I
Yeah.
would think, to,
So,
that's my
Well,
thoughts.
to-
But to have a direction to recommend,
Right.
if this board or this body, the delegates want to do that, to recommend, then it should be looked
So-
at.
I think what we probably ought to do is, we'll get a committee, look at the bylaws. We come back to our next meeting, that committee can kind of make the report. At that time, if it is in fact something that this group, we can have more discussion there. If this group can make the determination, we'll do that. We'd have to have it on the agenda,
Yeah,
obviously. So then at the last, we can come out with the recommendation, go to the municipalities if we have to, and then at the last meeting of the year, if we are gonna go that route, it'll be on the agenda for, is that the December meeting, or is that October?
It'd be October.
October. At the October meeting, we'd have it on the agenda for the October meeting to shut it down.
And on it, or
Or a special
whatever,
meeting.
whatever the considerations
Yeah.
are. But then that way, it gives plenty of time, because at the October meeting, we always do the budget for the next year. We've just got things that maybe we can downsize the budget if you choose to go to less meetings. Or I'm just throwing all this out there, because to me, I would think that we take like the recommendations, the letters that like she wrote, and from anybody else still wants to submit anything they can, then next meeting after, or today, if we want to make a committee,
Yeah, I mean, I think we probably should.
then have that, so that the recommendation is on the agenda for the next meeting. Right? Is
I
that what
would
I'm
note that
hearing?
this is your second request for input.
It's actually, we've been discussing this
discussing,
for,
yeah,
this is
so-
probably our 4th
Okay, this is
time
your
that
fourth
we're
request for
hoping to
input.
get volunteers
I
or
think-
people to
I don't think we're
attend, just
requesting.
attendance.
Yeah, we're not really requesting information at this point. I think at this point, we need to look and determine if, like, the process to shut this thing down. If that's,
That sounds good.
like, we'll look at that, so that way we can come back and say,
This is what has
this is what has to happen. This body has to make the decision, or these municipalities have to make
Okay.
the decision. If it's the municipalities that have to make the decision, then we're gonna have to notify them. Obviously, I think this group would still make a recommendation, because I think that would carry some weight. But obviously, at that point, it's not up to us, it's up to those municipalities. We go back to our own municipalities and say, hey, this is where it's at. If a couple folks don't wanna get rid of it or wanna do something else, they might be the only ones left standing if the other, groups leave the COG.
But just as long as you're doing still like the road-based stuff, I mean, Rick's new, I'm fairly new on, and so that's why I just told him, we need to be discussing what projects that the school district would need to do, so we can participate in this stuff. And so we're behind the 8 ball. By the time we get this notice, we can't be planning projects. So now he needs to be looking for next year to be able to even get in on anything like that.
Aren't you on the email list that we do for?
Yeah, well, like I said, he's new.
You weren't? Okay,
you know.
okay. But
Yeah.
we will, and we'll, the joint bids, like the, any, diesel purchases, because there's a number of us that go together, we can do that with or without the COG.
Right.
And we can certainly include you on, because Dave Dixon used to be included on that. So we certainly, a lot of times we send additional reminders and emails out to just roadmaster, secretary, different people, not necessarily just, you as a board member.
Well, that's why I said, I
Yep,
mean, he's our,
exactly. Yep.
that's why I wanted
Yep.
him to start attending,
Yeah,
because,
good.
instead of me coming here and then telling him, oh, by the way, so him being directly involved with the stuff, and even the bidding of diesel, that's in your purview and everything, so. And I, not to put John on the spot, but I guess, what was your hopes whenever you guys first started talking about joining the COG? Was it just mainly for the bidding, or?
The bidding and, we all have to look at our budgets and, save wherever we can and do what we can for our people. I mean, this year, we've done paving projects on our own before, small ones, okay, within our budgets. And, this year, we joined the COG, and we got some paving projects that we wanna do. And, by doing it this way, it saves us on the bidding process, it saves us on meeting with everybody, and, it's just easier, let's put it that way, for each of us, because we all go to one place and it's done. So, that's one of the reasons why we went in on. I didn't know that there was a diesel project out there, or if there was dirt and gravel issues or anything like that. But, yeah, that's one of the reasons that we got into it, is because, just like the joint seal coat bids, we save a hell of a lot of money for the people by getting everybody together and getting one good price. And that's what we were involved with, that's why we wanted to get involved.
And we intend to continue that.
Yeah, I have no qualms about keeping doing, no matter what, because that's technically, that's a cost savings. Maybe it's more of a cost savings for you guys. You get a better bid going in with the bigger municipality, so that's more of a benefit maybe for the smaller individual municipalities. But instead of maybe having to make them be COG members, we just open it up and we could still do it countywide, or, but that being said, the diesel, the joint paving, anything else that we could think of, we could potentially do. We did a couple of years ago with all of the EMS, the firefighters EMS issues, we put on meetings at night and had speakers and had kind of, we had a lot of attendance for that. That was kind of something very specific, and it was very important to all of us, so that was a good thing to do. We could still do things like that, but it would be nice if other entities also stepped up to put some of those on or do some of the work and things, because sometimes it does tend to fall back on certain municipalities, but I get it, because small rural municipalities don't have a lot of help, don't have a lot of extra bodies or anything around. That's where we're kind of at the crossroads we're at, like what do we still consider to do?
Yeah, and that's like the catch-22, because the ones that really benefit from the COG in some of these paving bids and stuff, it'd be nice if those groups were the ones that kind of volunteered to do it, because they probably see the biggest return on the investment compared to like the larger municipalities. But a lot of them don't have the staff to do it, so they're still kind of just catching the free ride, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like the larger municipalities, they don't really benefit from a small municipality coming in and doing a small project. They're helping out the small municipality for really no benefit to them.
But I think no matter what, I guess I always feel that this is kind of our area. We should, as far as I look at it, as not one township, or a borough, or, we're kind of all in this together. We need to make our area productive and good and a benefit. So,
Oh, yeah.
So to me, I don't wanna see that go away, or, us
Right.
working together. I really,
You do know
that's how we're
Fairfield
gonna do
Township
it.
can't even fit all those cars in the parking lot.
No, it's
That's
yeah, it's like I said, I don't want to
That's what I mean, I don't wanna, yeah, I
kind of a
don't,
catch-22, so.
I just want to, because I'm very thankful for all of our intergovernmental working together. I think we've got, a lot of that. But what do we do from here? Where are we going to go forward from here,
Yep. All right, so I think we got a plan. Who's the committee? I'll do it. Who else? You'll do it. Who else? One more.
Well, I'll be
You're involved.
taking, but I want to,
No, that's fine. We got it.
if
We got
there's
it.
other
We
people
got it. No, we got
Okay.
it. We got it. We'll come back with,
Okay.
we'll have it
We're
on
gonna look at the
the,
bylaws.
we'll send out an email like a month in advance before our next meeting with our findings and what we're gonna do at the next meeting. Whether that's, one final chance, because this is the board that can end it. Like, if we can end it, I still think we ended at the October, we put that on the agenda at the October meeting. It's one more opportunity for any municipalities to come and speak before we show up the data book. If it's a situation where the municipalities have to do it, at the July meeting, right? Is that the next one?
Yeah,
The
next
July
one's
meeting, we'll have it on the agenda to make our recommendation. And then that gives the municipalities,
3 months stuff, yeah.
time to discuss it, do what they gotta do, and then we can still have that October meeting if we're just wrapping things up, or if we're changing bylaws to something else.
And everything's already advertised for this year, so then
Yep.
any recommendations that the committee has would be October, and then we could
Go from there.
see what happens, and the rest of the agenda could be one way or another. I don't know, we're just going with the flow, right?
Right. All
We're
right.
hearing what people have to say.
Can I say one more? Just one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and I knew this was on the agenda, and just to answer your question real quick, I reached out to Jill, because like I said, I've been trying to contact,
Okay.
because I believe in the council of government. I believe in that, the model, I really do. So I'll say it to you, I know you reached out to the municipalities, if you're interested, if I'd like to get involved, if you want me to work with you, Jill, or someone to put a survey together, to just at least send the survey out and give me the contacts, and we put a list of questions together, and if you're open to, you say, hey, look, these are discussions, these were on the agenda, and if you don't get 20% response or whatever. So I'm
All right, yeah, we'll,
opening that up to you.
all right, appreciate it. We'll
Yeah.
we'll get with you after the meeting. We'll circle back to it.
Okay.
All right, any other business? If not, well, before I adjourn, I tell everybody, slow down on 322, since we're televised here, there's a good chance you're gonna get pulled over. When you're leaving here today, I'm not gonna validate any speeding tickets, so if you get pulled over, you had fair warning, don't speed on 322. With that, the next meeting is July 16th, we'll be at Westmead Township, and I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Got a motion, do I have a second? Second, any more discussion on that?
Who's second? Oh, sorry.
Any more discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same thing. Meeting adjourned.